Hey everybody, my name is Ed. Okay, comic book haul today. I just wanted to comment. Been watching a lot of videos recently regarding kind of the comic book community guys who do videos for YouTube. Yeah, I watched the Ghost Critic video where he's talking about how he's kind of getting burned out on the whole thing. I saw maybe a week or two ago, Howler Mouse was talking about kind of wanting to take a step back as well because of all the drama and things like that. I saw Custom Bromstar's video, Comic Crack did a video. Uh, I think um, I think Sleepy Reader 666 commented on a while, a little bit as well. And yeah, I kind of get where people are coming from with that. I almost did a video. I actually shot a video where I was kind of going on and on about stuff I was a little bit dissatisfied with as far as uh, I guess with certain types of videos that are being put out these days. I ended up not airing it because I felt it was really just me going on and on and on. I think it didn't add anything constructive to the conversation, for lack of better words. But I get it though. I understand. I understand the kind of dissatisfaction with like certain negative videos getting all these hits, and things like that. I get the whole thing is getting kind of burnt out on maybe a lack of quality coming out of certain comic book companies and things like that. I think for myself, as far as making videos, and that's another thing, I also get the whole thing of like everybody's views have gone down due to the way I guess YouTube is doing their algorithms and their monetization and things like that. Um, I get almost no views these days, but that's okay. The few people who do watch my videos and do leave, comments and things like that, I'm grateful for that. You know what I mean? I mean, even before all this stuff used to happen, I used to think, well, one thing I used to think of like, oh, I should do this and I should do that, and I get more reviews if I talked about these topics that are hot and whatnot, or these titles that are hot. Maybe more people will watch the videos and stuff like that. And I ended up, and I kind of did a few things that I thought might get a few more views, but that I still had interest in. And it really didn't sort of affect things one way or the other. So, and I don't think anybody can really tell. My whole thing with this channel is it's my hobby and I still want it to be a fun thing. So I don't want it to turn into a thing where it's a job where I feel like I have to talk about Batman or I have to talk about the X-Men or I have to talk about whatever movie just to keep views or hits or clicks or whatever it is. Um, kind of cracked me pointed out, if it's not fun anymore, there's no reason to do it, and I always wanted to be fun. So my whole thing is, even when I do start feeling kind of burnt out with one aspect of comic books or the hobby or the industry or whatever, there's always these other aspects, available to, you can look in and investigate and seek out. When I'm bored with what's going on with Marvel and DC, the big two or whatever, there's always the indies. I like going back and trying to discover back issues that I missed. Oh, here's that series that everybody was talking about last year that I didn't buy, but now it's available in trade. I can go back to that. There's underground comics. There's European comics and things like that. So there's always, and, when I get tired of that stuff, I can always, come back to like Marvel and DC and see what new thing they're doing. So I always feel there's these different things you can kind of dig into, whether it's digging into the history of comics or digging into these kind of side roads and things like that. So that's how I've been able to keep it fresh for myself. So yeah, but like I said, I do get it. I know there's a lot of people who were doing videos and stuff a few years ago who just dropped out. I'm sure some of those people, it was just due to life changes and stuff like that. I think some people were kind of driven off by like trolls and stuff, which is kind of sad, but that's the way it goes. But anyway, yeah, like I said, it's comics at the end of the day, for all the politics and social issues and literary claims and artistic claims, it's still supposed to be something you're supposed to have fun with, and I think that's something that it's always good to not lose sight of, so that's it. So anyway, I'm going to show you some of the comic books I bought this week. um, this week's comic book haul is brought to you by Budweiser Clamato. I'm only going to take a sip because as I'm doing this video, I'm doing laundry. Then after that, I got to run errands, and then I got to go early vote. So I don't want to be walking around all half buzzed and stuff. So anyway, cheers. Okay, so I got Emma Frost Black #1. Got this Terry Dodson cover. It's pretty nice. I basically just bought it because the artist is Chris Bachalo. I don't know if this is his best work or not, though. I do like Chris Bachalo, but I don't know. This seems kind of rushed for him. But I do like these layouts and whatnot. So I decided to give it a shot. West Coast Avengers #3. Really enjoy this comic. Lighthearted, fun, decent art. Written by Kelly Thompson, the artist by Stefano Caselli. And yeah, for all the talk about politics and this, that, and the other thing, and controversial characters and whatnot, this has really been kind of a throwback to, like I said, lighthearted, fun adventure stuff. This storyline here is you have a MODOK offshoot character called Brodok. He's got a big head still, but he's remade himself to looking like kind of a surfer dude. And he's created all these giant monsters, one of which is Tigra, who he's mind controlled or whatever. Meanwhile, the team, in between, going on adventures and, whatnot, is kind of being followed around by this reality show crew. So that's a lot of fun. Like I said, it's lots of humor. I like the way the personalities of the characters bounce off against each other. So it's a real solid comic book in my mind. Another good comic book that's getting overlooked is Jeff Lemire's Sentry. The art here is by Joshua Cassara. And basically dealing with the whole thing of the Sentry and his mental disorders, and how he has this whole pocket universe that he has to go to in order to kind of keep himself under control. Meanwhile, the guy who was his former sidekick has kind of subverted all that and is trying to take over the Sentry's life and whatever. So just some interesting stuff there. Charlie's Angels #5. I think this is the end of the issue or the end of the story arc. This is an homage to, let's see here. I'm trying to look hard at it. It's an homage to Giant Size X-Men #1. This is the comic that introduced the all new, all different X-Men. What I was looking for kind of an acknowledgement, but I don't see it. Usually it'll say something like, artist blah blah after John Romita and Gil Kane or whatever, but this doesn't say that. This is kind of it's been an okay adventure. It's been set in the mid-70s, and it has some crazy thing to do with trying to get the Charlie's Angels coerced into shooting Jimmy Carter and all this other kind of goofy, campy stuff. There's the evil angels running around, and it's silly, but it's kind of fun. Lodger by David Lappin and Maria Lappin. I guess that's his wife. And these are the people who do Stray Bullets, so I thought I'd take a chance on that. I kind of dropped Stray Bullets. I really liked it. I thought it was a quality comic book, but it was kind of starting to kind of meander for me. But yeah, I thought I'd take a chance on this. So it looks pretty interesting. I have no idea what the story is. It looks like it's kind of a slice of life type of thing, maybe crime type of thing. I really don't know. But okay. Man Eaters #2 by Chelsea Kane, and the art is by I think the art is, wait, does it say it here? The art is by Kate Nimzik. I can't say her name. Basically, basically the premise has something to do with the near future world where girls get their periods and they turn into cat beast comics or werewolf creatures. What did I say? Cat beast comics. They become werewolf creatures and they start tearing people apart or whatever, or something like that. And the main character lives with her dad. Her dad's a cop who has to investigate these things. But it looks like the daughter may or may not be infected with the disease, like I said, that turns women and girls into, like I said, werewolf creatures or something. And obviously it looks like there's kind of this whole kind of girl power subtext to it. And seriously, I really don't have a big problem with that. Well, I'm just going to leave that alone. Days of Hate, chapter 9 of 12. I've been so far enjoying this comic. Just this real kind of slow burn political thriller. Not too sure how things are going to end here. A lot of it's about duplicity and who's on whose side and who isn't on whose side, and I don't know. It's all actually pretty subdued for, like you say, a modern political thriller, especially considering some of the things that are going on in real life these days. But all right. Heroes in Crisis #2, Tom King's Event. At first I was just going to skip it, but I thought I'd give it a chance. Basically, the premise is there is a place called Sanctuary where superheroes go to kind of deal with their problems and get therapies, dealing with all the stress that's connected to, you know, being a superhero, I guess. And there's been a murder there, so that's kind of hooked. So we're gonna find out, or we're going to see or that's the main hook. There's been a murder at Sanctuary, and I guess obviously we're going to deal with who's behind the murders and whatnot, but also, like I said, kind of dealing with the deep psychological toll, or the price you pay for being a superhero. I guess we'll see how this goes. Wildstorm #18. This has been basically a reinterpretation of all the old Wildstorm characters written by Warren Ellis, and he's really done it up as this kind of sci-fi themed espionage story, and it's been pretty interesting. The art's kind of, it wouldn't really work in a more straightforward superhero comic, but I think it fits for this. So okay. Books of Magic, Timothy Hunter. I've never read the old Books of Magic. I guess this is a reinterpretation, so, or a revamp, so I thought I'd give it a chance. The art looks interesting, so we'll see. And then we also have Scarlet by Brian Michael Bendis and Alex Maleev, another political thriller. I don't know about this one though. I don't know. I may give it the whole arc, I may not. This is issue 3. I think I'll decide here. I think Brian Michael Bendis is good at setting a certain tone and a certain vibe, but I'm not sure he's able to pull off some of the bigger ideas and themes when it comes to this type of fiction. So we'll see, though. We'll see. I might go ahead and just give it the whole arc, even though the first 2 issues, like I said, were kind of, I think it was kind of lacking as far as, like I said, getting to the deeper issues that it wants to pretend that it's about. I do like this cover. Okay. All right. And let's see. I got some freebies. I didn't notice this until later. This is like the Image magazine. It has like the kind of updates and or not updates, but previews and interviews and things like that. I didn't realize though. This was from like I saw September, November. I didn't realize it's September, November of last year. Ha! So it's got these series in here that have already, come out, and a couple of things have ended and stuff. So anyway, what is this? This is Andersonville. This is about, I guess it's sights to see in a local Chicago neighborhood. Okay, that's fine. And then I also got, what is this? Halloween, Nancy Drew. Okay. Oh, this is a preview of something that's going to be coming out next year. It says on sale February 2019. And this is written by the same woman that writes West Coast Avengers. So okay. All right. That's cute, I guess. What's that comic shop? Okay, so then that's it. Like I said, I'm going to go finish doing the laundry. Then I'm going to go run some errands. Afterwards, I'm going to come back. I'm going to try to shoot another review video. It's some video I've been trying to do for like the last 4 or 5 weeks, and I just haven't had time to put into it. But I'm going to really give it a shot today. And that's it. Thank you, everybody, for watching. You guys have a great day. Hey, everybody. Okay, kind of an epilogue. I'm still kind of running errands or whatever, but got one of these little wristband things. I didn't put it on or anything, but I wanted to show you this. It's a local paper, and there's this big story on this woman. She was kind of an alternative underground comic book artist, like back in the '90s, and it struck me because it says she is definitely done making comics, and like I was so certain that she had like left comics like years ago or whatever. I remember she was big. Like here, I actually used to have this comic back in the '90s, where she was part of that whole kind of autobiographical crew back when you had people like uh, Joe Matt and Seth and all these people doing comics and stuff. So this really caught my eye. Here you can see 1990 or whatever. But it really caught my eye because I figured, you know what? I should see if I can find some of these old things from back in the day. So so okay. So like I said, yeah, it kind of cracked me up that they had dug up this obscure underground, like I said, alternative indie person who like used to do comics like back in the '90s and stuff. So I thought that was pretty funny that they're doing a big article on this person, um, now or whatever. Okay, then. All right, so that's it. I'm going to go to the grocery store. That's it for today, unless something else weird happens. All right, thanks.